All right, so let's talk for a minute about what you can expect if you're going into a tarot reading and you either haven't had one before, or you haven't had one from a particular reader before. When I first started out and I got my first tarot card reading, I had no idea what to expect, and it was kind of a hot mess because I was very confused. I felt very out of place. I didn't understand anything about the spiritual community. So if you want to go into a tarot card reading, I just want to give you a couple pointers of stuff that you can expect, especially if you're coming in with me. For me personally, I like to kind of give everyone a quick little 411 about how I work, what my abilities are, and kind of set the expectations, because like I said, every tarot card reader is different. Some people read directly off of the cards, some people add psychic abilities in, and everyone's psychic abilities are also at different levels. So you really could get a wide variety of things if you're going in to get a session with somebody. One of the things that you should probably do if you're going to have a tarot reading is kind of compile a list of questions or areas in your life that you would like to look into. Most of the time when people get a reading, they don't go in because everything's like happy and light and fluffy. They go in because they're having some serious problems and life is falling apart and they need some help and some guidance. So if you are going into a reading, it's always good to have a couple of questions. Even if you already feel like life is usually pretty good, hey, what's going on with my business? What can I expect? I really want some more, feedback or information on this part of my life. Or how do I do this? I'm trying to work on this thing. What's the best way to get there? It's always good to have some questions. If you go in and you don't have any questions, something that you can always ask the reader to do is to give you a quick energy check, right? Kind of see what's coming down the line in the next 3 months or so. And that usually is enough of a good place to start, where you will start thinking of more questions, and things will pop up, and you'll have more you want to know after that. So that's something that's really good to do. When I first went in, the lady goes, "Okay, what are your questions?" And I was like, "I didn't know I was supposed to have questions, like homework. I don't know." I was so confused. And so what I would say is, figure out what it is that you want to know or get more information on, and that will help you be more prepared. The other thing too is that when you go in, know that we have free will. So whatever it is that you see, if you see something horrible that you don't like, don't feel like you're stuck with it, because you can actually change that. Most of the time we are just kind of ingrained to make certain choices and decisions because of who we are and how we're hardwired, but it doesn't mean that we're stuck like that forever. We can change our mind or change our course at any time. So I know a lot of people come out of reading sometimes feeling like really dejected or but I don't want to have that to happen. You can change stuff sometimes, right? And so don't feel like you're absolutely stuck with something. The other thing too is that sometimes you will hear stuff you don't like, and it's happening because on our path we need certain lessons in order to grow and to put us in the right path farther down the line. And sometimes the lessons aren't fun. But if you see something like that, you can always ask, why is this happening? What's the best way to handle it? Things like that. So you can really get more curious about it instead of getting more afraid or upset or annoyed with it, right? Because if you don't learn it now, you're going to learn it later, and that's just how it works. I don't make the rules. So that's what that is. The other thing I would caution against too is that sometimes the cards will throw down some hard truths, especially if you are not paying attention or have not been paying attention to your life. Welcome to 2020. This is a lot of people are experiencing this year because they haven't been paying attention. And Spirit is, pounding the fist on the desk and being like, wake up, we got to deal with this stuff. Things can be so much better. Let me help you, right? So be prepared that sometimes the cards will kind of be a little harsh, and it's not the reader trying to be a jerk, unless they're actually a jerk. But most of the time, the stuff they're telling you is for your own self-growth, for your own empowerment, to really get you on the track and the path that you want to be on. So, if you get off the phone feeling a little bummed, it's not necessarily because bad things are happening. It's just because you have work to do, and sometimes the work is hard or feels heavy, or, it's just not fun. We don't want to do it. So be prepared too that the cards are really going to show you, if you're open and you want to grow and you want to work on yourself, the cards will help you, but you also have to be prepared for the answers that you're getting, because they are very honest, right? Nobody's going to get anywhere if somebody's blowing smoke up your rear end, right? It's just not going to happen. So be prepared for that as well. I think sometimes that's a surprise to people how accurate the cards are or the things that they say, and they're like, oh my God, right? And so just be prepared for that too. It doesn't always go that way, but if you're really not paying attention, the cards will let you know and know in certain terms the areas that you need to pay more attention to. So I hope that kind of helps going in, knowing kind of what to expect and how things go. Because sometimes you really don't know, and it's your reading. So the card reader's not really there to tell you what you want to hear. You're in charge. You're driving the boat. So you say what you want, and then they will give it to you. So if you have any other questions about that, or, you've had a bad reading or you've had something weird happen and you don't understand it, let me know. I'd be happy to try to explain maybe the situation. Because if you don't have a lot of knowledge and you aren't well versed and you haven't had a lot of readings before, it can be kind of funky until you figure out what's going on, and I want to help. So until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and have an absolutely beautiful day.